You're listening to the Dragon Between podcast, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign set in the Eberron pulp fantasy setting created by Keith Baker. New episodes are recorded every Sunday and released on the following week. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel for clips and future episodes. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for updates and news on the podcast. And now on with the show! When we last met, the characters had embarked on the seafaring vessel known as the Sea Serpent. After being shown to their rooms and exploring the ship a little bit, the vessel sank into the waves and headed out into the Hilt, heading towards Thunder Sea, beyond the river. The group continued to settle in for the rest of the evening and got to know a few of the crew members just a little bit, and got to know the captain a little bit more, and eventually found themselves taking their rest for the evening. As the group gathered together the next morning, they awoke to find themselves on the edge of what is known as Shargon's Teeth, a strange archipelago of islands that appear to grow off of rocky columns that rise up from the surface to the surface of the sea from the bottom of Thunder Sea. As the Sea Serpent began to attempt to navigate through these treacherous columns and this forest, if you will, of bioluminescent columns that raised up from the bottom of the ocean, a giant dire shark smashed into the delicate mechanical system that held the elemental binding ring that kept the water elemental in check and solid. The group then delved into the briny waters, protecting the gnome engineers as they attempted to ascertain and fix the binding ring and check the damage, and also attempt to free themselves from some sort of strange rigging or netting that seemed to prevent the ship from surfacing. The group were then attacked by a large dire shark, the very same one that appeared to have hit the ship, and after a careful and treacherous battle which nearly ended the life of their monk/druid friend Alistair, the party sliced up the creature, Varax taking its jaws as a trophy, and headed back inside the Sea Serpent. Alistair then relayed to the group that he had observed a strange, scaly, bipedal humanoid that was swimming off in the darkness just beyond the glowing orbs that had been cast out to illuminate the surface of the vessel. The group then began, as the ship captain relayed to them that they would have to surface for a few hours in order to ascertain the true damage to the elemental binding ring and attempt to make repairs. The party set out standing on the deck on top of the vessel to stand watch as they surfaced not too far away from one of these archipelagos, one of these small islands. As the party stood watch and fended off boredom, the group were suddenly attacked by a swarm of small sharks and more of the scaly humanoids that Alistair had observed, and a much larger one that held aloft a strange trident, which seemed to have an effect on the weather nearby. The battle was fierce, and as the group seemed to be getting close to becoming victorious, this much larger Sahuagin creature seemed to summon an elemental torrent from the sky and the ocean beyond, just a few leagues away from the ship itself. Alright, and with that, I believe it is your turn, Twinkle.
Do we have a map?
Yes, I will share it with you. Also remember, if I share something with you guys, it should be in your images and map folder. That'll prevent me from bogging down the system with loading maps constantly. There we go.
Awesome. For size reference, how big is this tornado that's coming towards us?
Well, as you look out, it seems to raise up out of the water several hundred feet. Almost as if it's not quite a tornado, it's more of a water spout. And it's not...
What kind of footprint?
It's several hundred feet at the base. And as it twists up towards the sky, it stretches out towards the cloud cover almost the same amount, like almost like an hourglass shape, but not perfectly symmetrical. It's in places it's waving and twisting this way and that way, and it doesn't appear to be heading towards the ship as it has manifested. It just seems to be staying in one place at the moment. And Twinkle, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna move right there.
Okay.
And
Now,
I'm a hide.
I will say that exactly just beyond there, to get to that area there, you would have to hang off of the very low, the very sharp, abrupt end of the side of the top of the vessel. There's a little bit of a lip and a curve, a slope that slides down into the water. So if you go right there, you can do that, but you're going to have to make a check to hang off of the edge of the ship.
Can I like jump into the water behind that guy?
Absolutely.
I'll do that then.
Okay.
Can I hide though, or no?
You can absolutely use your bonus action to hide. You just have to roll your stealth check.
Alright, cool.
So Twinkle, as you run to the edge, you shoot into the water, diving into the water. You're
my turn.
Okay. You're immediately hit with that cold water. The Sahuagin, we'll see if he actually notices you. You never know, but I sincerely doubt it. Stranger things have happened. Oh no. He's going to... Let's see. Frax, I don't believe you've actually... Oh no, you have. Huh, look at that.
Of what? Taking...
You have taken some damage. Yeah, he's going to be rolling it with advantage on his attacks. So he will attempt to bite you in the face, because that's a thing he likes to do. It's all good. You can give him a kiss back if you like later.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you, Fantasy Grounds is moving slow as molasses tonight. Have you guys noticed that?
Done.
Oh, you know what? I just realized something. none of the tokens on the board that are you guys are actually the correct tokens.
Wow, Fantasy Grounds is fucking up.
No, you know what it is? My fault. I didn't clear out the map when I deleted everyone's tokens last time. So it's actually Jeremy that fucked up.
That's okay, man. You're on vacation. You're allowed to fuck up a little bit. By the way, I've been everywhere from your vacation, and it looked like you had a lot of fun.
I did have a lot of fun. It was definitely a very interesting sort of impromptu change to the vacation. Because we weren't intending to go to New Orleans and see our friends up there. For those of you who didn't notice, we actually had a little impromptu session, a little D&D sesh.
Oh,
I did.
I saw that.
So I apologize if you guys will not be able to hear that.
That's okay.
But they had a lot of fun, and I murdered. I will say this: I murdered everyone.
Nice. How'd your girlfriend like playing D&D?
She had fun, and she played as a kobold barbarian that was basically named after herself. Does that sound familiar, Ryan?
Nice.
I don't know what she's talking about.
No? You don't know what she's talking about?
Oh,
Alright, let's try this again.
Lord Barrington.
Yeah, that's all like a year ago.
Alright, so we'll see if this thing can actually harm you, Varax. It first attempts to bite you in the neck. Harmlessly, its fishy lips slap shut, spittle flecking all over your face, as you both are kind of sort of treading water at the moment. And it then attempts to scratch and slash across your chest with its claws, but it does nothing. And Scorched, it is your turn.
Alright, Scorched is going to hop into the water, and he's going to make his way over to the shore.
Okay. I just imagine that Scorch like transforms into a boat.
Funny,
And
I
I'm gonna
imagine
use
him dropping
my,
to the bottom.
My action.
Okay, you can do that. You can use your action and your movement. Now keep in mind you don't have a swim speed, so your movement is halved.
There we go.
All right. Scorch suddenly runs off the lip of the edge of the ship and dives into the water.
In there.
All right, and on Adelum's turn, let's see what she's gonna do. She will cast Ray of Sickness. On her little fishy guy that's trying to harass our good friend Vrax. And the Sahuagin fails. And takes 15 poison damage as she gestures out with her hand. Her fingers splayed. This sort of like hazy, almost heat, sickly colored heat comes off of her hand and almost basically like fries the creature. There's this horrible smell of of sulfur, and you can see on the surface of its skin pockmarks and blisters, and this purple substance, which doesn't appear to be its blood, is now coating the creature momentarily. On the keeper's turn, he is going to step forth around his little barricade. To the edge of the water, and he holds the trident forth towards you, Scorched. And when he does, there's this glowing, which even you can see as you're treading water swimming towards the shore. And the tornado, which was off of the water, this water spout, suddenly this violent churning noise, and there all of a sudden, almost like a gigantic magic missile, this arcane blast of energy arcs out from the twister, splashing down in the water a few feet away from you, Scorched. And there's a bit of smoking, and it almost looks like a chunk of ice for a moment. And then it shatters, splits in half, and a churning, swirling creature seems to immediately burst forth. And it almost seems like a wave suddenly appears in the water and it's moving towards you. Or it looks like it's about to. And Alistair, it is your turn.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
And remember, Alistair, to speak into your microphone, please, because we could not understand half of what you said last time you were recorded.
No one's allowed to understand what I say. I hear. And that will be the end of my turn.
Good on you, mate. On the water elemental's turn, the creature rushes forth, Scorched, and encapsulates you. Make a strength save. Okay. So, as the creature attempts to swirl out in a spiral, attempts to try and grab you, and it doesn't quite grab you, but you are pushed out of the way as the creature rushes forth, and this, it's almost as if it attempted, like the water itself was trying to grab you underneath the surface of the ocean, but you are pushed away from it just a little bit as it rushes forth. And that's the end of its turn. And Vrax, it is your turn.
Brax is going to use his full movement to go towards the shoreline. somebody keeps moving me.
Somebody keeps moving you? I can promise you it was not me.
There you go. I'm gonna land right there, next to the Sahuagin Shark Keeper.
All right. Just for the heck of it, the Sahuagin, which is next to you, will attempt to make an opportunity attack with its claws.
Well, of course, I'd feel some kind of way if he didn't.
Of course. So, as you shoot away from the creature, it slashes across your back, but does nothing. You feel the attack, but it does absolutely nothing to you. And it then turns and just slightly turns in your direction, almost shocked that you're moving as fast as you are. As you hop up onto the sandy beach, trudging through the water, heading from the deeper to the shallow, and you pop up next to this large bipedal humanoid fish creature holding this trident.
I pop up like a croc.
Yes. Jaw open, teeth bared, hissing.
Okay, and I will end my turn there.
Okay. In that case, Twinkle, it is your turn.
Twinkle is sick. I will take her turn for her if you don't mind taking control of her.
I do not mind.
Yeah, apparently whatever's bothering her really hit her pretty hard just now. I might have had something to do with going ahead and forcing that, but we're not going to go into that. She's going to attack the creature directly in front of her with the backstab. Using her...
Sorry, all I heard was using her.
That's okay. She's going to attack the creature directly in front of her.
Okay.
With her magic dagger, backstab style.
Magic dagger, dagger. Tinkle stabs the creature with advantage because it does not see her. Just waiting for Fantasy Grounds to decide that it wants to work tonight.
I understand.
That is a critical hit. And you just see Adelum and Alistair from just below the edge of the craft. You just see a flurry of churning water, and the Sahuagin sinks below the surface of the water, and there's just a blood cloud which is currently spreading on the surface of the water and emanating from underneath. And the creature is dead, very dead. Cute. Let me see if I can do her trademark laugh.
And she will start making her way towards the shoreline, but she's not like in a big hurry to get there. Like maybe she goes for like 15 feet.
Okay. Her speed would be halved anyway, so she can go 20.
That's perfect. But she's not going to go directly towards that water elemental. That's not her style. She would stay slightly to the left of it a little ways.
Okay. And that's the end of her turn?
That is correct.
All right. On the elemental's turn, the creature attempts to attack you, Scorch, twice with its slam attack, as these disturbance of water suddenly form a formation underneath the water, what appears to be fists made of churning, bubbling water, effervescent water now, attempts to slam into you. And it rolls a natural 1 on its first attack because that's a thing that it does. And misses again. You just feel the water, which is whoosh, whoosh, first above you and then below you as this strange elemental creature is attempting to hit you. And it then moves into your space, attempting to confuse you. It's not doing anything to you at the moment. In fact, I'll see if its ability recharged for its next turn. Okay, good to know. Alistair, it is your turn. Looking out from your perch on the top of the ship, you can see this... Oh, you're going to go into the water?
Oh, that's the water? I thought that was like the edge of the ship.
No, it's right where Adelum is standing. Consider that block she's within it. The bottom of her token would be that where that ledge ends.
Okay. Let's see here. I'm going over the water and land.
Are you going to fly over and land into the water?
Yes.
Okay. You stretch your wings out, flap them, and you launch yourself into the air and arc shoot, into the water like an arrow, like an eagle swooping down to grab a fish with its talons.
And now I shall use up my reaction that I can do on my turn and do 3 poison damage to the creature in front.
Okay. Now that only damages the creature, it doesn't damage your friend, correct?
It throws a little ball of spores basically at a creature. So if it hits it, you could technically have it go either way. I mean, it's water, so poison would probably spread through it. So probably half damage to whoever's in it. If poison affects Scorched, because it is poison damage.
We'll see.
I have the damage.
It appears I'll have to make a thing for it when we get a second, because there's not a thing for the Halo Spore.
Sure. Well, I will say that 3 damage, poison damage onto the creature. Oh, I'm sorry. It's immune to poison damage.
Why is everything? I mean, it's water. It makes sense, but still.
So you sort of erupt and Kamehameha wave some spores out at the creature, and they just kind of go into the water, and then the churning, swirling elemental creature, it just dissipates and mixes and sort of turns a little strange color of whatever the color of the mushroom was, and then begins to dissipate as it absorbs the natural elemental water around it into itself. And Vrax, it is your turn. Vrax, igniting his longsword, rushes forth and slashes. Its first attack, the creature takes his trident and slaps away the flame sword. And then as the keeper slaps away with his trident, opens himself up to a second attack as you slash into the creature's body with your longsword. And it hisses. And Scorched, it is your turn. You are currently within a tempest at the moment.
So, is that another strength check to get out of this water elemental?
Technically, it's not got you yet. You could swim away from it.
Alright, so I'm going to move there.
Okay. So right now
And
you're just you're not within the water per se. You're like ankle calf deep in the water as you walk up onto this little island.
alright, and since this this water creature, it's holding the trident. I don't know what he's doing. I'm not sure if Scorch actually saw the water elemental, but he's going to attack it with sorry, he's going to attack it with Witch Bolt at second level.
Okay. As you gesture with your hands and make the motions and the vocal and somatic components to manifest this lightning into your hand, and then gesture towards the creature. And the elemental lightning racks the creature with, and you just watch as its body is just sort of, and it.
Now my turn.
Okay. The shark keeper now, looking at you, Vrax, swings its trident around and arcs it towards you. And then takes a step forward and attempts to skewer you with its trident. Yeah, I figure eventually one of these days this thing will actually hit somebody. And it actually hits you. Oh my gosh, look at that. You feel the piercing, the pierce into your side from this creature. I should probably turn your macro back on, shouldn't I, Vrax?
You know what? We'll say it was off because I was so unimpressed with those sharks, but it's active now.
Okay.
Somebody just hit Vrax's arm.
I didn't know Vrax was never not.
Of course he is. It's 3 inches below his tail.
Alright, well in that case, it is non now. It's on like Donkey Kong, so his next attack, we'll see if he can actually hit you again with his trident. Pierces you once, pulls out, and attempts to stab you once again in the solar plexus. And this time he misses, as you just happen to sort of shimmy and sidestep, and the trident scrapes off a little bit of scaly skin off of the front of your torso, but it doesn't do anything but superficial damage. And it then howls and then reaches out, jaws open with its very sharp teeth, and attempts to bite into your neck. And its teeth just snap shut like an inch away from the side of your face near your eye. And on Adelum's turn, let's see. No, she's got nobody to really fight or anything, so let's see. I guess she'll try to heal somebody. She will attempt to heal you, Alistair, since you're closest. With her bonus action, she heals you a little bit, Alistair. You can feel the effervescent wave that passes over your body. And that was her bonus action, and with her main action, she will attack the creature with Sacred Flame, the elemental creature. the creature fails its dexterity save. And we'll take 2d8 radiant damage as this spectral fire creates a gout of steam from the water as it blasts into the back of the creature. And well, look at that, it's our turn again. Haha! Second verse, same as the first. She will attempt to hit it with Sacred Flame once again. And the creature fails yet again. So in quick succession, Adelum gestures with both hands and tosses this elemental fire at the water elemental, causing gouts of steam to come off of the water as she hits. And on the Sharkkeeper's turn, he will once again attempt to stab into you with his trident. Vrax, you just feel this creature doesn't seem to be like too worried, but he does seem to be sweating. If a fishman can sweat, he definitely looks like he can sweat. He's sweating right now. He's dripping something. And he stabs you in the shoulder with his trident. You're noticing that this trident is made of a metal of some sort, but it also appears to have like strange crustaceans that are growing off of the metal. It pulls his trident free and attempts to stab you, this time in your thigh, just managing to miss and hitting the sand with a and then pulls the trident back and then attempts to bite you yet again. This time it's trying to actually bite you on the end of your nose. But yet again, its jaws snap shut inches away from your face. And Vrax, it is your turn. Vrax, you slash the creature across its chest once, and then with a powerful hit, cut downwards into its body and chop its head off, cutting through the clavicle and then through its right arm. And its right arm, still holding the trident, falls onto the sand, and it is quite dead.
Sword covered in blood, and I'll roar my victory for everybody to hear. And on that note, I will end my turn.
Okay. And Alistair, it is your turn. What would you like to do, Alistair?
I think he's... He's trying to talk, but nothing's coming through.
Oh, that's weird.
Did you misunderstand? Away from the mic, like across the room?
There we go. For some reason, Discord decided to change what I was using as my mic. Alright, I'm going to move closer and use my quarterstaff. Sorry for butchering the name. And then I'm going to try to hit it with that.
Okay. It's called Shillelagh.
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 But I hardly knew.
His bird beak is incapable of producing that word.
Unfortunately, that was a miss with your Shillelagh. So you Have at thee! Whack with your long quarterstaff into the water. Instead of hitting the creature, you hit part of the water. Shargon's teeth, the ocean. You slap the water.
Let's be honest. I never hit anything. It's my.
Okay. What will Twinkle do on her turn?
Give her a second. She's getting caught.
I'm gonna move there. And I'm...
Stabby, stabby. That is most definitely a hit as you stab into the creature with your magical dagger. And Scorched, it is your turn. You watched as the fishman fell to the ground, his head and arms separated from the shoulder, hands still clutching a trident.
Scorch is going to approach the decapitated fishman. He's going to pick up the trident.
Okay. I would say just, move right over to where Drax was, and you can totally pick that up as part of your action.
Helping him out, I'm going to stomp on the hand so he can snatch it free.
Okay. I will put that into your inventories there, Scorched.
The hell this thing works. He's going to point the trident at this water spout and see what happens.
The moment that you hold the trident up, the water spout seems to rise up on the surface of the water, and it looks like it's getting ready to come at you.
Alright, I'll then make a bizarre swinging gesture with my head and see what happens.
Okay. Would you like to do anything else on your turn?
No, that'll be my turn.
Okay. Both Alistair and Twinkle will get opportunity attacks as the creature rushes forth towards Scorch.
I shall attack them.
I shall attack thusly with my dagger. Wouldn't it be funny if she killed it as it was going towards Scorched?
I don't think she will.
No? Stranger things have happened. Well, she hit.
For a regular attack.
Alright. Do you want to drop the damage on it, and I'll move him towards Scorch? Scorch, make a strength save for me. Hello, Scorched. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
As you were staring at the trident, trying to figure out how to get it to work, this creature has rushed forth and is attempting to wrap itself around you in a ball of water. I need you to make a strength save.
Do you say a strength save?
Yes, please. Okay. The creature pushes you slightly away from it as it attempts to occupy your space. But it does so harmlessly pushes you away from it. And that is the end of its turn. And Varax, it is your turn. Some sort of strange miniature cyclone of water seems to be attempting to attack Varax after he picked up the trident off of the ground.
This water doesn't know its place, and it's pissing me off.
Well, you hit it. You just didn't target it.
It says I targeted it.
That's weird.
Yeah, it says Brax targets water elemental. It must have took a second to register after I did it.
That's weird.
That was a hit though, right?
That was definitely a hit. You slash into the creature. Your elemental fire quenching and then reigniting as it passes through the torso, what you consider to be the torso. You then attempt to bite it, and it's like getting shot in the face with a water hose. You know when you shoot a water hose at a dog and it tries to like attack the water?
Yeah, just like that.
Okay. On Adelum's turn, Adelum is going to, let's see, I don't know if she can reach, but she's going to certainly try. Nope, she can't reach from there. Alright, well in that case, Adelum will just leap into the water. Attempt to get closer to her friends. And what will Twinkle do on her turn?
I'm gonna sneak up on it.
You do it. See if you can cough on it and get it sick, and maybe it'll be sad and die faster.
Does it see me?
Let's see. It rolled a 2, so no, it does not see you. Twinkle, like a little tiny death machine, you doggy paddle across the surface of the water, dagger forward, and start lunging towards the creature. This strange thing made of water. Seems very similar to what's coming and churning around in like a giant hula hoop around the elemental ship, the Sea Serpent. You stab your dagger into the creature. You can see as the water is churning and sort of coming off of your blade as it passes through the creature's body. It then turns its attention to you, Scorched, and attempts to slam you with one of its slam attacks. And just manages to miss you with the first one. It then turns slightly to its right and attempts to slam into Varax. Varax, you watch as this massive arm the size of a tree trunk made of water attempts to, in a downward motion, slam into your body, but you just manage to move backwards as it splashes into the water. This thing looks like it's starting to fall apart though in areas. It's not looking too good. And Alistair, it is your turn.
Alistair is going to use his full of movement and birdie paddle up here, and he's flanked between me and Scorched right now.
That is correct. So you do have advantage on your attacks if you choose to do so.
Oh yeah, I choose to do so.
That is a hit. As you slam into the creature with your shillelagh-empowered quarterstaff. But it seems to resist partially when you impact it. It's like, again, impacting the surface of the ocean with your stick.
I then use my bonus attack to do an unarmed strike in it.
Okay. Also with advantage. And you smack into the creature with a knee now. If the creature had a face, you would have hit it right in its chin as it spun around to meet you.
I'm not gonna be beat by some water. I'm at least gonna get a few hits in. And I end my turn.
Scorch, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Scorch is going to take his trident, and he's going to stab it into the water elemental. But he's going to imbue it with his magic. He's going to cast Shocking Grasp on it.
Okay. As you reach forth with the tip of the trident into the creature's body, and there's suddenly this blast of energy that scatters out from behind it, blasting and creating a cloud of steam as a chunk of what you would consider to be this creature's face evaporates and then begins to reform, but very slowly.
I'll have my
And Vrax, it is your turn. That is a natural 20 as you critically hit this creature. And standing back and mortally wound it, slicing through, and you just watch as the creature's body loses elasticity and it just sploosh.
But my
spreads
lord,
out.
there is no creature anymore. I don't know what you're talking about. There never was a creature. You've gone insane.
Yeah, I'm like in the middle of it, snapping at droplets of water as they shower down.
Alice just gonna fly back to the.
Not me. I'm looking for salvageable body parts.
Well, there is definitely a body in front of you.
And this is a Sahuagin, I take it correct?
Yes.
I would like to take the time to skin that.
There also seems to be an absorbent amount of bones over here.
Are there bones over there?
Now, Alistair, as you head back to the
Himself on the
ship, Alistair, you look out, you can see now that that elemental twister, that water spout, has now moved away and it seems to be weakening, and the storm clouds ahead are now clearing. And
It's beautiful out again. And he continues to prune and just keep watch on his friends.
okay. So besides the strange trident, which I'll put into the party inventory, which you can grab there, Scorched, you also find a chest filled with coin on the beach.
Exactly how much coin are we talking here?
Let's see. After giving it a good count, you found a decent amount of copper, like 122 pieces, 24 pieces of silver, 88 gold coins, and a couple of platinum coins.
Very nice.
And the trident is now in the party inventory if you wish to snatch it, Scorched.
I already got it.
How much
Okay.
time are you going to make me take to skin this guy?
I'll tell you what. Make a performance check.
Sure.
And I will award some experience to you guys as well.
I guess the body was just too broken up for me to skin it.
what were you trying to get from the body?
The skin.
Okay. You got about, let's say, a nautical map size amount of skin off of this creature. So I'd say like about a 24 by 36 bit of skin off of it that you're able to flay off of its haunch.
2.5.
And I will turn off your rage. I assume you're no longer wanting to walk around with a rage boner.
I'm always wanting to, but it's not always appropriate.
True.
Is there
Tell 'em-
anything else besides the chest?
Not really. A lot of broken wood, bones. Of course, there's a fire pit that looks like it hasn't been used in a very long time. A couple of barrels, but the barrels look like they have holes in them, and whatever what was in them has leaked out a very long time ago.
Alright, Scorch will take the chest back to the ship, and then he'll start to prepare the shark.
Okay. Now, are you all going to continue to watch for the crew as they continue to fix the ship?
Yeah, sure. Is there anything else worthwhile on the beach? Body parts, animals, bone?
You can go hunting if you like.
No, that's okay. I feel like I've hunted it enough today.
What would you all like to do?
The soup smells good.
So y'all make your way off of the beach back onto the ship. Adelum follows you, just sort of making notes as she does. She seemed to be pretty interested in that trident that you have, Scorched.
Hey, Scorched. Hide it from her. She's going to try to steal.
Steal it.
Ouch.
Yeah, she's not like us. She's human-esque,
Skin.
humanoid. Smooth, silky. Not to be trusted. Very weak and underhanded.
I see no reason why we cannot trust Adelum. We're
Where'd you?
Where's she gonna
Where's she what?
Where's she gonna go?
She could swim away.
I doubt she'll make it far.
That's true. I could easily outswim her.
Scorched will give the trident to Adelum.
That's smart. You can't steal what is yours.
Good point.
Plus, I'm sure I could fly after her.
We could always hide Twinkle in her backpack.
Quick, make Twinkle into a backpack. A pretzel, if you...
Scorch, do you have Identify?
I do not.
Okay. Adelum doesn't have it either.
But I still give it to her so she can study.
Sure. She will happily take it from you. She nods to you with the token of for this token, and she tells you as soon as she learns all she can about it, she will tell you.
In the meantime, Frax, would you like to help me cut up the shark?
Yes.
Would you all like to take a short rest at this time? Or would you...
Yes.
Okay. Well, I will mark you all as taking a short rest. You may spend hit die to heal up. Scorch is dead.
Not, did not mean to do that.
Instant death. Starts his self detonation.
Alright, we'll go ahead and... Dellum will spend a couple of hit die and recover her hit points. And it's a blustery day. Time moves on. I just realized that I have you guys on the wrong time. Haha. So some time goes on, moves on. The day is now the sun is now high up in the air. Feel like it's getting close to noon now. And the captain comes from the ship to where you're all perched on the edge, just on the ledge on the side of the ship, and he says, "Well, that was something. You don't see that every day. How are you all holding up over here? You're definitely pulling your weight, I'll tell you that much."
I'm going to hold up the skin of the Sahuagin I skinned that I'm currently tanning and say, we ran into a little trouble, but it was nothing we couldn't handle.
Well, I knew when I saw you lot that you could definitely hold yourselves in a scrape or a scrap.
So we also got some fresh meat. Scorch will say as he takes a huge chunk and starts to bring it down below deck.
Okay.
Yeah, we're having shark fin soup tonight.
Well,
And tomorrow.
I'm sure the boys will appreciate that quite a bit. Well, we're all ready. We're all ready to go if you all want to get back aboard.
Everybody ready?
I mean, Scorch is already down below, so.
Yeah, I'm following behind him, helping him carry all that meat.
Alistair takes one more look to the sky, lets out, and heads back below deck.
I'm a coming.
Don't worry, guys. After D&D's over with, I'm going to go ahead and put her out of her misery the rest of the way.
Oh boy.
We appreciate it.
I'll be looking for the organs to be on sale.
Well, she's really, really nauseous right now, so I figured if I punch her in the gut, whatever it is making her nauseous should come out.
Okay. So, what would you all like to do for the rest of the day?
Sleep.
Scorch is going to prepare meals.
Okay. Scorch, you're helping in the kitchen, getting some meals ready to go. Twinkle, you've head back to your room and climbed back into your rack, going to sleep. And Adelum takes the trident, and she is currently within her room with the door open and is sitting Indian style. And every once in a while, if one of you happen to walk by, you can see the trident is laid out on a piece of cloth that she has on the floor of the cabin. And she appears to be have a scattering of books open in front of her, which she's writing into one and then reading another one.
I found me a quiet spot where I can smoke my pipe.
That would be the bathroom.
And I'm currently enjoying being there.
The sea serpent descended after they made the repairs. They descended back underneath the surface of Shargon's teeth, and the captain is now guiding with his first mate, Derek, directing him to guide them through Shargon's teeth past the bioluminescent columns that reach up. If you happen to pass into the observation blister where the bridge is on the ship, you just see this beautiful vista off in the distance, all these columns that just seem to glow underneath the surface of the water. And if you would, I know we just started, but if any of you would like to take a quick break, you can.
I'm gonna go grab some meat real quick.
Okay. Well, we'll say 10 minutes.
Sounds good to me.
All right, I'll see you guys back here in a moment.
All right.
I will have to be gone at 10 though, because I do work at 7:30 in the morning.
No worries. We'll let you know if you die.
I'm bringing back Nastus if I die. Because if I die, I need to be fucking extra and sass.
Hey, Jeremy, are you leaving the computer?
He already has.
Yes, he has. You know, why is it that nobody makes a warlock? Warlocks are like super overpowered in 5e. And nobody ever makes.
Because every time we talk about him, someone else wants to start making one, and then no one. Like, remember me and you both planned to do a warlock, and then since we both decided to, we both decided not to.
Good point.
Bring Nastus back, but Nastus has gone down a dark path and made a deal with a demon, so he wasn't alone anymore. And everyone's like, Nastus, you're such a nice guy. Why'd you make a deal with the devil? Because I was alone.
That is something he would say.
Your mom wasn't in my room last night, and I got bored and summoned the devil. Bring him back if Alistair dies.
You say something, Ron?
I was walking away for a couple minutes, and all I hear is something about summoning the devil.
Oh, we were talking about why nobody ever plays a warlock. Warlocks are like ridiculously overpowered in 5e, and nobody ever plays.
The reason why I'm not playing a warlock is because I never played a sorcerer before.
Yeah, sorcerers are cool.
The 700-pound tortoise man. Do you remember that when Jeremy tried to throw Nastus, but Nastus was actually too heavy. And Jeremy's like, no, he's not too heavy. He's like 300 pounds. Like, oh, he's too heavy to be moved.
Yeah, Gnosis was no joke.
I don't know if I'd want to keep him a Stormbringer cleric or actually change him into a warlock just for the laughs, just for that one line. Just like, session's almost over. Like, that's just, I've been wondering this whole time we've known each other. You seem really nice and you don't seem like the type of person to be like with a demon. And then just, well, I was alone. All my friends were dead. Everyone I knew was dead. They all died. And my only friend, Olaf, was evil now. So I've made friends with demons.
Couldn't you have just bought a cat?
I could have, but I had no money. And I couldn't trust myself not to eat a cat. So I made friends with demons.
Fair enough.
They just make it so he's kind of senile, so every time the story changes, it
Nastus is senile?
just if I have to remake Nassus as a new character, he's just senile from being around for so long. Just all of his stories always change whenever he tells.
You know, we got off on that topic, but what we were discussing is how warlocks are overpowered in 5e and nobody plays them.
I agree. No one plays them.
I really want to, but I'm not with. I haven't reached a party where I can feel comfortable playing a warlock yet.
Well, what I see happening with warlocks is because people don't like the fact that they don't get as many spell slots. So they're kind of like, they get some cool stuff, but it doesn't happen until like higher levels.
Yeah, but they get.
And what they
all
don't
their
get is
spells
that they
every
get it
short
back.
rest.
Yeah, every short rest.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, every short rest, they're ready to go. So they're like non-stop spell slinging cannons. And if you get one, like one of my personal favorites is the one for the. Oh god, I can't remember the name of it now. The one that has that little book where he inscribes spells in there. He picks up extra spells from other classes and all kinds of stuff, and just can cast them at will. I mean, it's crazy. Then he gets all the ritual spells, and I don't know, man. Warlocks are pretty overpowered.
I agree.
Especially when someone else in the party has catnap.
And I mean, all the stuff they can do to pump up Eldritch Blast. You imagine a warlock with high dexterity and Eldritch Blast maxed out. He's like killing stuff from like 180 yards away. No problem.
You guys missed a doozy though. That one shot I did. I threw an NPC in the party, which was basically a drunken monk orc.
You almost had Virgil in the party then.
And he was not putting up with he was definitely not putting up with the bullshit coming from y'all's favorite Nicholas Highhill.
You think about it, because on the topic of Virgil, yeah, Virgil would have put up with that shit either. He would have slapped him on the back and been like, "Stop being such a pussy boy. You gotta live a."
All right, is everybody back?
Yeah. And guys, I'm going to go ahead and end this conversation now. We can discuss former characters all we want to, but nothing will ever beat Rufus.
Agreed. Rufus is my Patronus. Alright, is everybody settled? We're all back? We're all ready to go?
I'm good to go.
Yes.
Okay. So the rest of the day, Captain Biam and the crew are able to guide the Sea Serpent gliding past the remainder of the bioluminescent columns that make up Shargon's teeth and away from that somewhat treacherous area that was infested with Sahuagin. And what you were expecting beyond Shargon's teeth to be just a clear path straight towards the main islands, the mainland of Zendrik, you now see in the distance some sort of a cloud of silt that appears to have been drudged up and created a cloud that has lowered visibility down to almost nothing. The captain says, "Blast it all!" And he pulls out and speaks into the speaker. "Well, it looks like this trip is cursed. Just kidding. If I could have all of you come up to the observation blister, that would be wonderful." And as you all assemble within the observation blister, those of you that do come, the captain now gestures towards the viewpoint ports within the bridge, and he says, "Well, as you can see, it appears that we've had some sort of natural or unnatural occurrence southwest of the Shargon's teeth. Blast it. I thought we could just have a straight shot, get some good luck. There's a trench that we might be able to go into to avoid this, but I'm not sure if I want to take the risk, especially after we had to spend so much time repairing the ship. Well, I will leave it to you all. If you want to risk it, we'll go through it. The trench itself, it descends many fathoms down into a long, deep crevasse underneath the seabed. It's called the Trench of Cavas.
Why is it called that?
Well, legend says that when our world was formed, that the gentle progenitor dragon known as Eberron forced into being several elemental titans, and the oceans were ruled by one of these elemental titans called Cavas. And Cavas lived, according to legend, within the trenches that delved deep into the earth, into the planet itself. But it's deep enough that we can avoid we can follow the coral, follow the edge of the trench, and go around this horrible miasma.
Can we stop and say hey to Cavas?
I mean, if you want to stop at the trench, we can.
Very well. Let us go.
And Biam now directs Derek to guide the Sea Serpent a little further southeast around this silk cloud, which is in the distance, and begins directing him towards the deeper water. And quite some time goes by, and getting into the evening hour, the edge of this trench now, you can see from the observation blister just pure black, pitch black beyond. It's almost as
Quick
if yes, go ahead.
What type of creature is Cavas?
Are you asking as Kevin or are you asking as Vrax?
Vrax.
Oh. And Biam looks at you and he says, well, I don't really quite know. As I said, they got these elemental creatures. I assume it's some sort of water creature.
Hey guys, want to try something fun?
What do you have in mind, Vrax?
Let me borrow your trident real quick.
I don't have my trident.
The trident is currently sitting on the ground being studied and scrutinized by Adelum. Back in her room.
Let's go get it from her. I want to use it as a focus for speak with animals.
Okay.
You can have your turn with it after Laura has her turn.
Yeah, but I'm trying to speak with a god. I mean, come on, is she going to do that?
Everyone will get their turn, Vrax.
Looking out.
Lame.
As you look out into the deep now, the serpent is approaching the edge of this crevasse. And you can just see the light diffuse. The sun is getting low in the sky, and the light diffuses quite a bit as you look down over into the trench. It's just pitch midnight black. But looking out to the southwest, along the edge of the trench and above, you can see it's a bit dim, but there's a bit of colorful coral that is sort of in a scatter in places. And who would like to make a perception check? If you're within the blister, you can make a perception check.
Scorch to be in the mess hall.
Okay. The Delum is
I'm
back
there.
in there. You're there? Okay.
I'm looking for an animal to talk to.
Vrax, as you're peering into the ever-shifting viewports that are contained within the blister of the observation blister of the bridge, you just happen to make out what looks like a dark shape, almost a bipedal shape, which appears to be swimming along the edge of the coral on the edge of the trench, off in the distance.
Using my speak with beast, I'm going to say, hey, see if it can hear me.
Well, you're currently within, or you're trying to use the trident?
No, I'm using my ritual spell, speak with animals. I've been doing it the whole time.
Okay.
I just can't do it with the trident because they wouldn't give it to me.
Ah. Well, how does speak with animals work? Is this something that you telepathically speak to them, or you just talk?
Let's see. Let's verbally communicate.
Ah, so you would actually have to go up to it to talk to it.
This is gay. All right.
And unfortunately, you can't speak to it like your Aquaman.
I'm trying to.
Hey, you never know. If you try really,
Trident, I could.
you try hard enough. So, would you all like to? What would you like to do? Did you want to go out and try to talk to it?
I'm pointing at it right now and trying to get the captain's attention.
Okay. The captain looks, and as he turns and looks, you watch as the shape seems to go into some sort of hollow, like possibly an opening. And
There's a big thing over there.
And Captain goes, "What?" And he looks, turns, and he goes, "Where?" And you watch now as he reaches his hands up and he pinches his fingers along the edge of the viewport, and he stretches and sort of magnifies the image. And you can see now a couple of fish that are swimming, lazily swimming around the coral bits. And you can see just on the top of a mound of coral, this sort of depression, like this opening.
Something big and went into that opening over there.
And Captain Biam says, "Oh, there's lots of big things in the ocean and the Thunder Sea. My friends, you faced some earlier today."
Well, it was really cool looking.
And Vrax is the captain turns away now, and when you look back, you see what looks like a woman hovering in the same spot where that shape disappeared. Is now hovering.
Hey, there's a girl. There's a girl.
And its hair is just sort of flowing around it. Its arms splayed out and looking at you. And it appears to have a glowing eye. Like sort of like an amber glowing eye.
I'm jumping up and down and pointing at this point. Captain, look.
The captain turns around and he says, "Wait, what? I don't have time for this." And he turns around and he looks at the viewport. And when he does turn to look and you go to point at the viewport, that image of that woman has now been replaced with some sort of a fish, really big fish, a bipedal fish with like a big lumpy face, and it just sort of slowly undulating. It almost seems like it's almost the size of, like, say, Scorch or Vrax, if you could gauge the size from this distance within looking through the viewport. And you just watch as it's sort of like slowly swimming along the edge of the coral.
What is that?
I can honestly say I don't think I've ever seen a fish like that before. It's very strange. But we are on the edge of the trench. There's no telling what could possibly be living over here that no one's encountered before.
It changed its appearance a minute ago to look like a woman.
A woman?
Yeah.
That sounds strange. That's weird. Did you want to go investigate it? We'll hold our position here if you want. It's getting dark here soon. We may want to possibly drop anchor for the night.
So we're not underwater right now. This is Kevin speaking. Correct?
This is Kevin speaking. You guys are underwater. You guys are
How far down are we?
Under the surface of the waves. I'd say that you're approximately 1,000 feet from the surface.
Then no, we're not getting out. We're going to continue on.
You're going to continue on?
Yes. I think the only person that could probably go out there and not be crushed instantly would probably be me and Scorched. And that doesn't sound like a very good recipe for fun.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we're currently down 1,000 feet, but what you saw above was probably maybe 30 to 40 feet. If I understand that, Jeremy.
Oh no, what you were seeing, like the sea serpent itself is currently angled, pointed towards the southeast, and the observation blister was pointed towards a bit of coral on the edge of the trench. You guys are right on the edge of the trench, and this coral was probably about maybe 50 to 100 yards away from you. So whatever this is appears to be close to the ship, within 50 to 100 yards.
Well, I'm going to get a secondary opinion and get Scorched up here, see if he wants to go.
No, I don't think we'll go.
You sure?
It doesn't seem like a good idea.
Scorched, as you look through the aperture, this viewport now, as you look in the distance of the coral, you can see that creature that they were watching is some sort of like strange, angular, lumpy fish with sort of like almost like a pinkish colored scales. Make a perception check. Just beyond that, Scorched, you see what appears to be some sort of a raised and flat on top area just beyond the coral reef, not too far away. And there's some sort of a raised podium. It almost looks like a pedestal that is located within this raised area just beyond. And as you continue to look, you can see more dark shapes of possible larger sea life which are swimming off in the distance beyond, swimming down towards the coral, coming back up and then around. And there's a couple of areas you can see off in the distance of what looks like bits of like columns, not quite the same as the what you saw in Shargon's teeth. These columns are sort of twisted and have bits of coral hanging off of them and look almost man-made, but they're broken on top in areas.
Yeah, I think that's a sunken city up there.
Captain BM goes, "City? I don't seem to remember hearing anything about a city over here. That's kind of unusual."
We're about to become famous gentlemen explorers. Let's go find out what city it is. Maybe we can name it.
And Captain BM says,
Uh,
"Well, I don't recommend it, but if you insist, the boys and I will stay here and keep watch over the ship, and we'll attempt to try to stay away from possible danger that comes our way. We've had quite a bit of excitement within the last 24 hours. You're welcome to take the water-breathing caps if you want. You can take the crossbows."
What do you think, Scorched?
I think I'll take my trident.
Okay. And that is where we're going to end for today.
And then we were on top of a submarine, and then we were like, oh shit, there's fishmen, but one of them had a big ass trident. And then we were like, ah, fuck, a tornado. Roll for initiative.